Good morning and welcome back to the zombie apocalypse here in our cozy little self-made hut in the middle of the forest. Now, this episode is going to be a base episode. We're probably not going to go out. Not a single zombie will die. I mean, they're already dead. But, you know, we're gonna check around on the base, see what's up. First things first, updates from last episode. First of all, we got the freezer truck back to base, and anything you put in the truck actually freezes. And as far as I can tell, I'm not 100% sure though. I don't think it drains battery or fuel, which feels a little bit overpowered. But at the same time, it's fine. It's just a couple of fish that are not going bad, right? I don't know. Let me know what you think about this. It's still, you know, it's a very rare car, and we had to get it over here. And talking about getting it over here, towing a car all the way from the Four Corners over here guzzled my fuel. So if we quickly look at our fuel status, this is after putting all the remaining fuel we had in the base, so 3 additional gas cans, into this thing. So we're back at half level what we were last episode. So basically we used up 3 gas cans worth of fuel to get that truck home. And I don't even know how much damage we've taken in the process. So the car actually came with, where is it? The front. Did the front fall off? Now, so we do have a big bull bar front, so any front damage is actually absorbed by this. So our hood is still in excellent condition. Engine did not take any damage, but the bull bar is down to 67%, which is not terrible. The trunk, for any side hits that then damage the trunk, you know, has seen better days. Certainly has seen better days. But I think mechanics is probably something I need to work on a little bit more. That all being said, we don't have the next book, so we're here sitting at level 4. I'll have to test out. Maybe we do that even today a little bit. Do a little bit of mechanics. See how quickly or not quickly this goes up. You might have noticed here, I have a bandage on my foot. Yeah, walking through some of the trees actually broke the nice little shoes they had, the sneakers, and gave me a scratch on the foot. Very sad. Also, Lily is still not grown up. I don't know, this feels really odd that our little chick here, it says juvenile, still looks very baby-like. I've not been collecting eggs at all because I want to have some additional chicks in here. So for now I'm just gonna leave that in there. Although I guess I could take from the later slots and just leave the early ones in here. We have some ready for harvest stuff, but nothing is seed bearing yet. Or is it? Are you looking seed bearing? No, it's just ready for harvest. Okay, alright. So we want to try to get more seeds. Well, first things first though. Let me get rid of the wood axe here. I have created a wooden blacksmith anvil mold. Then use this with clay, etc., etc., to make a clay anvil mold. Fired that up. And then created a bunch of molten metals in crucibles that I created to make, you can see it over there, an anvil. So just in case you've not seen that yet, so you need the ceramic, whatever, anvil mold, well, lots of charcoal, 32 uses of molten iron or molten steel in crucibles. So a single crucible will not have enough, I think. Actually, don't know. And then tongs, and then it creates the anvil. So the idea is that we create an advanced forge, for which we need stone blocks, bucket of clay cement, the anvil, wooden bucket, logs, and large bellows. And of course a trowel as a tool. And somebody was so nice to plant all of that stuff right here on the ground. So the large bellows I made from the deer lever, the one deer we found at the bridge the other day. So that lever dried out. And yeah, everything else pretty straightforward. Stone blocks, some stones. So yeah, we can craft this now. Now, interestingly enough, no, you can rotate this, but I'm fairly certain that it has the same 3-tile size as actually the forge there, the furnace even. So if we put it like this, then I'm not in range of the lock, and okay. There we go. We've got an advanced forge. Now I should be able, because it occupies all the tiles here, no? Oh no. I was hoping I could stand here next to these boxes and have access to both the furnace and the forge. Okay, that still has me in range of these 2 boxes. Okay. And I should be able also to have... yeah. It's kind of because while crafting, your character accesses then the material that's in the boxes, so kind of having a spot where you have a bunch of boxes and can access both workstations is just fantastic. So if we look at this spot here, this tile, is this where we're standing on? No, this is too far away, so I guess it's technically this tile. Somewhere on the edge here. Either way, with that being built, I don't think there's any use having the primitive forge. I don't think we can disassemble it. But what we can do is have the rapid plant disassembly. Hurts a little bit in my soul. Also, apparently it hurts my weapon more than my soul. Okay, where did I have the sledgehammer? That was not quite the plan. The thing is, if we smash it down, I think it should drop some materials back. And then again, it's just a couple stones. If we sledge it, it just disappears. I also did go through all of our chests, all of our storage, for every single item and see if it said something like, hey, you can research new recipes with that. And I've researched everything. Alright. That back into the container. On the ground. A couple more steel parts. And I think we're gonna use a couple logs here. Oh, hang on, do I even have any nails? I don't have any nails left. I was going to build a couple more boxes so that we have multiple boxes that we can access while we're crafting stuff. Alright, what's so great about the advanced forge? Well, a bunch of recipes are not available on the basic forge. I kind of regret a little bit the positioning. I should have just put it one tile over and then put the boxes between the two crafting stations rather than opposite. I was hoping I could trust that 3x3 tile layout that it had, but you know, never trust. Alright. Or maybe I can find a better spot for this stuff. Well, you know what? I don't want to deal with this right now. But I do want to deal with, well, now, so come in here. We need more nails. The 10 nails is made from iron chunks. How do we get iron chunks? Well, we don't here. Can we get iron chunks here? But we can, I think, store something into chunks. And cut blocks into chunks. Can we make iron blocks here? This is the kind of thing. If we say output item, no. What about over here? We can also block from chunks. Now that is exactly the wrong way around. Okay, then back here. Can we... We can saw an ingot into blocks. Ah, there we go. Okay. So it can saw an ingot into blocks, and then blocks into chunks, and then chunks into nails. Cool. So in order to make an ingot, we're gonna need an ingot mold, which probably requires us to make a wooden ingot mold. Then we can press an ingot mold with the clay. We're gonna need a little bit more, like each one is good for one ingot, then it's broken. So let's just make 4 of those. Give me then 4 pieces of charcoal. Ingot molds. Then we can cast ingots with the molten iron that we still have left in the crucible, and apparently that's... can't craft. What is your problem? We have enough charcoal. That was weird. Maybe I was just standing a little bit like close enough to see the recipe, but not close enough to actually interact with it. Alright, and then the mold is broken. And we have an iron ingot there. Out of curiosity though. If I want to do more ingots, we don't have enough charcoal. Yeah, that's an easy problem to solve. But first of all, so iron ingot into blocks. And blocks into chunks. I need charcoal if we want to turn this into nails. Yes, we're going for some charcoaling. Maybe we put a the better kiln for the better charcoal over there, so I don't have to run down here all the time. This is gonna be a little bit annoying if this keeps disappearing on me. We're probably missing our tongs. Not to do anything. And a hammer and a heading tool. Oh, it needs to be a ball peen hammer. I can't do it with a claw hammer, obviously. What kind of blacksmith do you think you are? Your peen. There we go. 12 sets of nails. Yeah, the wooden molds, in case we want to do more stuff, let's put it over here. Pottery table. And I guess we have nails. We could just put boxes here. And then we should be able to stand here and access both stations and all the boxes we have in this spot. It looks a little bit ugly with the boxes being in the way of the forge. I don't know if I really like this. But I like to have like all my stuff easily available to both crafting stations. I'm just gonna put everything I have here into these boxes. Then what else do I have here? Crucibles. I'm gonna drop them between the places. Same with the ingots. Then we might just move the other ones. So the problem is, of course, I can't move that crap. Can I? Pick up the bellows? No. You used to be able to just hammer it down, not with a sledge, but with a normal attack, and then you actually got more materials back than you used to craft it. So in that case, I think they fixed that. In that case, I could just smash it down and move it over a tile. I'll figure something out. Okay. We still have a couple tools that should be somewhere in here. Either way, we now have a nice little spot where we can have 3 boxes with all the tools, and we can access both crafting stations. And I think that's all I wanted. I'm also super encumbered with those nails. That's the first base day here, almost already over. Let me show you what else I've been busy with. You see a lot of chopped down trees here. So basically I chopped down all the trees on this path. So we can build this road all the way down here, so we can actually drive next to this without having to drive through the grass along the river here. Having an actual road keeps your tires in a better condition, and I think we can make like a big parking lot or something here and then have a couple buildings here. I'm thinking after the first harvest we're probably going to move the farm probably into this area here. There's a lot of tree chopping that needs to be done. Alright, let me just saw a couple logs and we'll build a little bit of road here for the rest of the day. Yeah, we did just craft 120 nails, which sounds like a lot. Considering this path is 4 tiles wide, that's like basically, yeah, 30 pieces of the path, which is not that long. And that was my hammer. I'm still using stone hammers most of the time. Should we actually be able to make some proper hammers now? All the logs, more planks rather. Still the best trick I've ever seen. If you want to pick up a bunch of planks from the ground, don't like drag them over, right click, grab all, and with one action bar your character picks up as many as they can carry. And yeah, and then at some point we gotta go over this, collect all the leaves, throw them into a bin. We don't have the road full of leaves. Or stones and twigs and all the other stuff. Alright, more planks please. And the other big advice is don't do that if there's even a remote chance of zombies being around, because you're getting out of breath, you're constantly over encumbered. And usually what I don't really pay too much attention to like hunger first and that kind of stuff here when I'm doing this. Oh, not necessarily in a fighting shape. That's for sure. Yeah, just picking up 7 logs. That took longer than previously. I'm kind of... So, I think I talked about this before. I have this Prestige Crafts mod, which, you know, makes your sawing of logs more effective. You get more planks out of each log. There is, since we reached level 10 carpentry, now this one, I don't think I've showed that off yet, that actually makes 20 planks out of a single log. I'm gonna be honest, I've been using it a little bit here and there. I still think it feels like a lot, but it's also just, you know, chopping down a bunch of trees is very, very tiresome. Try to not always use it, but I feel like sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't want to chop down 3 more trees just for a freaking road. I'm gonna spend so much time just hammering in that road. Also, a wood axe is not gonna last that much longer. How many nails do we even have left here at this point? One more row, and then we're down to one lane. So, talking about or having crafted that fancy new forge here, what can we actually do with this now? So a few of the tools we can make now are like axe heads, or rather hatchet heads we should be able to make. Pierced steel chunks. Needs to be steel, can't be iron. Okay. Can we here with the crucibles? You show I made these small ones. They have barely enough room to hold anything. Well, first of all, we're gonna need more charcoal. I want to do anything here. The sunflowers. Almost ready for harvest. I think I should probably put my sapling storage somewhere else, because saplings are still the best thing to make, or the only thing to make long sticks of, and you really don't want to turn those into charcoal. Okay. Apparently we can make another ingot. It'd be nice if I was also then in range to just throw these away. I still need to do some optimizing here on my... If you have any ideas on what the best optimization is for the positioning of these crafting stations, let me know, because that's something I'm struggling with a little bit. So, well, iron ingots. We kind of need steel ingots. I was hoping I can empty out the crucibles so I can start smelting in some steel. But this seems to not go down, right? The content of these. This is weird. Okay, it says 13 users in this one left. 21 users total. We're gonna need more charcoal. You need so much charcoal for this job. This is insane. Yes, I could grab some ropes in order to move more logs more quickly with less over encumbrance. Then I need to find out where my ropes are. What would we need for the dome kiln? Lots of stone blocks and some concrete. Might be something we can fit in somewhere over here. Okay. Made another ingot, and it's still probably saying, if I combine all of this, it only uses one. It's only one use of iron to make an ingot. Is that what I'm getting here? Even though it says 12 uses. Might be that the ingot recipe is broken. My takeaway here is, first of all, we ruined the last ingot molds. Second of all, we do display. Let's make another whole crucible. Someone make some steel. We need steel for the better tools. Did I not have any more? Well, I guess we're gonna need more wood, more charcoal. Give me 2. So I also want to then make another mold. This should probably go here next to the press. But here on the ground, fire the crucible, fire the mold. All right. We want to smelt steel items. What do we have? Steel bar, steel sheets. Medium plus. The tongs? No, probably not. Steel halves. All steel items. Smaller steel items. Tin cans are made of steel. You need 10 tin cans to have one little bit of steel. Go directly into chunks. Now, what did we need for the hatchet? Chunks. Maybe you could just skip the whole crucible step. Okay, I got 13 steel bar quarters. Sure, let's make 4 steel chunks. The stuff on the ground. Then we're gonna need to pierce those, right? Those pierce chunks. We're gonna be out of charcoal again here? Yes, of course we are. Losing daylight. That's all. I'm running out of wood. Yes, the other chunks we should be able to make. Hatchet heads. Needs 4 charcoal. Are we running out of? Okay. Turns out you need light to. I didn't even do the piercing because of lack of light, I'm assuming. Alright, let's continue this in the morning. Next morning. Let's continue where we left off. Pierce these chunks. We can make. Should be able to have 4 hatchet heads. $65 XP each. Alright, with these hatchet heads, let's turn you into medium handles. Don't have any carving tool here. I think that stuff is still all here in the wonderful on-the-ground storage. It's a bit of a mess. It's a bit of a mess. If I knew that you guys would be here today, I would have cleaned up totally. Medium handles. You know what? Good enough. And then we should be able to assemble medium implement, hatchet head, medium handle, 4 times, please. Beautiful. These are blunt now. Now. We do have a whetstone, but I want to do that in style. So why don't we get a... what's it called? Whetstone kind of thing wheel. Can't remember the name. Let me check quickly here. A grinding wheel, is that right? Grindstone. Alright, we're gonna need a stone wheel for that. We do have some large stones left here. Stone wheel, and if I saw that correctly, we're actually gonna need some more nails for this. Yeah, it's gonna fit nicely here in between the boxes and the kiln. But let's see again. Need 4 nails, 4 planks. Planks not the problem, nails is gonna be the same problem we had before. Except that we can... didn't we already make a couple more ingots? So... saw ingot into blocks. Some blocks and chunks. Nails 9 times, because then we're out of wood charcoal again. Okay, and that should give me the grindstone. I don't know why it was looking so weird, but it's just the balloon we found last time being in the way here. So now we have wonderful self-made hatchets with almost decent durability. So we can kind of move on from our little stone blade scythe phase. Although these are still good weapons because of the lower weight, but the hatchets are doing so much more damage, and now that we have actually X level 5, we can, I think, make better use of that and shouldn't suffer too much from muscle strain. Alright, a little fish salad. Looks like we have our first harvest here. Blooming broccoli. Broccoli, 4 seeds. Everything else just ready for harvest. I'm gonna wait a little bit more for those other crops to actually also show blooming. Now with the broccoli, oh, the seed box is full. What we could try now is actually to get into trapping. So I prepared a little bit something over here, and that is 2 trap crates. So, trapping. Your traps need to be at least 75 tiles away from where you are doing stuff. Actually, we'll make another trap crate. Crate trap. So I think we're just gonna go straight west here. I don't know how far. I don't remember that. Probably. You also want to be, of course, in some sort of forested area for traps. We need to check those traps first. Now, I'm not sure if broccoli is going to be a great bait, but as soon as the cabbage harvest is going to come in, we're going to switch to that. On that note, what was our weight looking at here? 77 going down. That's not great. But we can now make a little bit more of a mixed salad with fish and broccoli. And we can also always get some more butter. And I guess on that note, let's do a little walk. Take the road north. That's where the road ends. Just go north then. Are we overweight here? Is it just the broccoli? Should also now that we have the better forge, we can make our own hammers. We should be basically leaving the old hammers, the stone hammers behind, and just make our own. So let's have breakfast or lunch here. Yeah, if you jump over where the butcher churn is, then you somehow it makes this falling on the ground animation. It's all the way out here. You're milking into the bowl. It's not okay. It's not quite there. The idea here. No, I don't want to walk all the way over there. Why don't you come here?
Hey!
That it? Okay. That gate, I'm still not 100% sure how it works. It always looks weird, but I guess it works. Alright. Second day. Halfway over. Yeah, it's a little bit of an ambitiously large base area here. There's always a walk out there. Like, eventually, once this road is finished, I'm probably just gonna drive over to the cows. The thing is, cows is not something you have to look at every day. You know, you don't need to milk them every day. Like, every 3 or 4 days, plenty. So I don't mind them being a little bit further away. Chickens, I should probably check if you need to be cleaned up here. Oh, yes. Yeah, I think I'll leave the first 2 boxes full to potentially hatch, and the other ones are gonna go into the cooker. Alright, then a quick update here on the mode. So by now I've been in the sandbox options for the mode mod, and I've set the default is 1, maximum is 100,000, and I put it to 2,000 and it's still not doing anything. This might be a thing of, yeah, you need to have this mod installed when you start the world and can't install it retroactively. I don't know. If anyone has any experience with this and how to make it work, I'd be eager to hear. Because I like the idea, but it's apparently not working. I wonder if it's somehow related to these shore tiles. Maybe I needed to start one away from the shore. Anyway, let's grab fishing lure. We should have some more fish fillets that are not cooked. Some fish. Wait, still on. Let's see what we can get here. Catfish. Yeah, I would like. You can do the fishing with all the insects and stuff you find from foraging, but the moment you have your first fish that you can slice, put some fish fillets aside and use those as bait. And that's been for me the most successful way of getting some good bigger fish out. The point where I might just actually throw away all the regular bait that we still have lying around. I mean, now we are on a pure catfish diet lately because I'm like every fish I catch, it's a small or medium catfish at the moment. And that's another fish. You can see like the splashing around the bobber when it's an actual fish as opposed to a trash item. Oh, look at that. Another catfish. Splashing? Oh, that splashes. Okay. Would have guessed another catfish. Do you have bubbles there? Yes. Ooh, that's a bigger one. What are you? Medium catfish. It actually feels like a cheat code, like fishing with rotten or not rotten fish fillets. Oh, that is a big catfish. I think that's the first one we caught of those. Which also only has 28 hunger reduction as opposed to... I think once we slice them, they're gonna give us more. Check where our actual fishing level is at now. Oh, I guess we do it after this catch. Like another medium one. Yes. Alright. We are at fishing. Level 5. It's actually going up fairly quickly, yeah. And I still haven't bothered getting the last little bit of foraging XP. let's go slicing. I don't. We have no knife left there. Over here. Really? Oh, those are too small. Okay. I still don't know what actually the fish guts can be used for. So we'll just throw them on the ground and eventually they just rot and then I throw them away. Maybe I should just throw them away right away. I think you can use them to make chum, to kind of make your own bubbles, right? With kind of sand and then other ingredients as bait. And then you throw that in the water and you create your own fishing bubbles. But since we have so much water nearby, it's not a big deal finding the bubbles in the first place. Anyway, 12 fillies. I think the small ones again. Gonna throw on the ground for future fishing use. Doing this, we can read all about cooking. These ones go straight down the hatch. Right, let me just freeze the rest here. Getting a fairly decent supply of fish fillets now. Now, I don't think if we're making a salad, I don't think we can use the butter, can we? No. Oh, that we have eggs, fillet, and we don't have fish. Not add the fish, yeah. Did I grab frozen fillets? That's weird. Not sure what happened there. Maybe it was a little bit frozen. Right. One. Kind of running around all bloodied up here. Have a little wash. Yeah. Well, and that's an example of the typical kind of 2 days here at the base. Kind of stuff I do usually off camera, where I say, hey, this is a lot of stuff, a little behind the scenes here, I want to say. So now I'm going to do a little bit more between episodes, and I think then next time We're gonna have to do a little road trip again, because we are definitely running out of raw iron and steel materials to satisfy our nail hunger. So I'm thinking we're gonna head over to the crossroads south of Muldrow, where all the crashed cars are. I'm gonna do some dismantling work. It's gonna be a little bit of a road trip, and I'm a little bit concerned about our fuel reserves, but we do know there are 4 more gas cans at McCoy's that we can get at any time. We just have to fight the 100 zombies there. But that's gonna be something for another episode. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.